Locho sampo pa gyo trashe pa Toche tempe tile yarno da Pelge drolor zampe ze parchin Palde lame shabla solvate Omo a Guru Vajra Dara Suma Timo Nisha Sane Karma Utta Vardanya Shri Bar Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om a Guru Vajra Dara Suma Timo Nisha Sane Karma Utta Vardanya Shri Bar Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Hum Om a Guru Vajradhar Sumatimo Nisha Uta Vardanya Shri Bhadra Varsa Manya Sarva Siddhi Dagi Jetson Tuje che nyamda dala tuje sikso so gebe shesan dala tendo so uyon sunge nawa tedo so eje nine so wa debe te dejen korlo veso lekshione ila sambe dede malyo pa geme lunge drubra jinge lo toni sodan digden shakpe te dinge namge yinso lekshione lapchen sonye yonso tsopa dan chera nidun chawra jinge lo Chancho parge ninsen tukun tu niu peme sutro lekshione. Chancho drube gegen kunshi shi tingen de la drubra jingelo. Dagi lona chola choba dan chumi samchor ngimba shiwa dan. Chedan timbe dede malu pa beme lungi drubra jing. Dorna tine tsera tamche dan teche pardo negaw tamche to. Rese kyamne lama kele me tuche chenge dala sikso so. Gongkyab drewe nyamda dacha la chetsun lame tuche rab gongne Kudan songge nawa drame tu nyamstu nyongwe kesan tobra sho Kewa kundu yanda lama dan drame chiki pela longche chi Tada lamge yende rab zone dorje change koba nyur tobe sho Pakyuke kudan dagi lo pakyuke sondan dagi nga Tudan dagi Tenyerme chikto jingi lo ma kyuke kudandagi lo ma kyuke sundandagi nga ma kyuke tudandagi ye tenyerme chikto jingi lo Om Muni Muni Maha Shakyamunye Soha Om Muni Muni Mahamun Shakyamunye Chedan soge chanamla chancho pardo dani kyapsu chim dagi jinso give sonamgin rola pinchira sange druparash sange chedan soge chanamla chancho pardo dani kyapsu chim dagi jinso give sonamgin rola pinchira sange druparash Tange chedan tsoge chonam la chancho pardo danik Dagi chishe gibe sonamgi. Rola penchira sangye druparasho. In the Buddha, Dharma and Sangha, I take refuge unto enlightenment. Through the practice of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. So between yesterday and today, we have two of the very important points that we need to reflect upon. And as we continue to follow the text of Lama Tsongkhapa on questions and answers. And the point of yesterday was the preciousness of this life, which is something very important for us to reflect upon, and actually not only to have the idea, but really to realize how precious and how rare this opportunity we have, this life that we have. Life is not precious just because it's life. Life is even more precious when it gives us a possibility really to make a difference. Like, we as human beings, we have a very, very strong potential. Differently than most animals, the animals, they have only the capacity mostly to survive, which is thinking of the present. In a way, in Buddhism we say we need to think of be present in the present. Animals are quite good in that. But because of not being able to imagine themselves in the future and to look back into the past, they are not able to direct their own choices and change of character and so on. So if we live our life just as a reflection of what is happening around us, basically we live our life as an animal. A little bit more sophisticated, but we are an animal. If we just live our life just for survival itself. Instead, if we use this ability that we have, because to project the future, to imagine ourselves in the future, and to look back and to see the past. If we use this positively, then we can actually make changes. We can project, okay, I want to develop this quality, I don't want to do that. We can change ourselves in this way, and we have this very strong ability. As Geshe Chekawa in the 12th century used to say, the mind is full of defaults and defects, but it has one big quality. What you teach, it follows. So we are able to direct our mind correctly if we really want to. Okay? But this is really something that we have this ability. That's why it's so-called this precious human rebirth. The human rebirth by itself is not so precious. It is precious when it has all the conditions necessary to follow correctly a spiritual path. If we are born in a state of sickness, if we are born in a place where we have no food and no minimum material needs that we have, things to satisfy the minimum material needs that we have, and so on, then it's quite difficult. But in the moment that we have all these conditions, and we were saying yesterday, we are extremely fortunate. Like, we are really part of an elite, really an elite of society, of human society. Really, and this is not just to say, oh, how fortunate we are. No, it's really, if we stop to think about it. And even just around us, in the town where we live, around here where we are, how many people that we know stop in their life for some time to reflect more about the meaning of life, to put effort, and okay, how can I make myself a better person? Many people do, but not so many. It's not a matter of being Buddhist or not being Buddhist. So to have this opportunity that to make our own life meaningful, as we were saying yesterday, to make our life meaningful means to develop our own qualities, to develop ourselves, to make of ourselves a better person, and to help others. These two are something that is very special to have the opportunity to do that, because this is what will really bring us satisfaction and happiness. Okay? So this is the point of yesterday. Today we go to the next point, which is, okay, how wonderful. We realize the first point, which is the preciousness of this life, when we think about this life, this opportunity, and it gives us a great joy. Oh, how wonderful I have this opportunity. But then comes the next question. How long is it going to last? And then we come to the question of today, okay? Let's read the question first. So, before we go to the actual question, I just like to tell a short story that I heard once from a doctor. And I told many times already, but I like it. He tells the story of a zebra. And he says, imagine that you are in the middle of the forest, in the savannah, in Africa, and then there is a zebra, and the zebra is there, eating the grass very calmly and happily, and suddenly arrives a lion. Actually arrives a lioness, because the one that hunts is the lioness. So arrives the lioness, and then what happens with the zebra? The heart starts beating very fast. The zebra starts to run to escape away from the lion. Escape, and suddenly the zebra is very afraid. The heart is beating very hard, strong and fast. Then suddenly, what happens is that the zebra is able to escape from the lioness is gone to another direction, and then finally the zebra is free. It takes 5 minutes for the zebra heart to go back to normal and to go back to eat. After 5 minutes, there is the zebra eating again, no fear, nothing, it's okay. What would happen if we would be in the place of the zebra? Okay, we are able to escape. We continue to run for another 5 hours at least. And we try to hide somewhere for days. And we'll make the institutional day against the lions. And we are worried about them. And then we get home and we go to our kids and we say, don't go to eat on that place because that's very dangerous. And all lions are so bad because tried to kill me today. You don't know how bad that was. And I will have dreams during the night. And I will wake up in the morning with my heart beating very fast. And like Buddhas, I will go on and on, and I will stop eating grass because you never know a lion can catch you when you're eating grass. And I'll make a lot of problems, and I will have a lot of suffering based on that. Why? Because we are able to imagine ourselves in the future. We need to use this ability in our favor, not against us. Okay, question number 20. Gyuten gomna jitar chegin yo. Mitakpatabu gomlo yang kashe tuma songwar chete. Semla gomna jitar chegin yo. Deljor chönam rangyula samne tende chao nyam. Teyan jikten dirle kyang deta chashe gyuten gom. Okay, question number 20. If they meditated on it, or if you meditated on it with regard to your own continuum, or to their own continuum, how would they apply it? Also regarding the way of meditating on impermanence, how would they meditate with their own mind so that it does not become merely a subject to explain to others? Panchen Rinpoche answers, by contemplating the qualities of leisures and endowments, within one's own continuum, one will think, I will make my human life, my human body meaningful. One then furthermore thinks, while having this rare supporting body, I must meditate right now. Okay. I think we need to mix up a little bit the next question with this one. But the point here is, first of all, as we said many times, the point is not understanding that this life is precious. The point is realizing it. To understand it's good, sure, but it's just the first step. Once we understand it, we need to repeat it to ourselves so many times. So the question that Lama Tsongkhapa put is, when do you actually know that you have realized the preciousness of this life? And the answer that is given is, by contemplating the qualities of leisure and endowments, which means by contemplating the freedom that we have, the opportunity that we have to practice Dharma, the positive conditions that we have, within one's own continuum, one will think, I will make my human life meaningful. I will make my life meaningful. In the moment that we develop deep within ourselves, spontaneously, the wish, I must make my life meaningful, it means that we have realized the preciousness and rarity of this life. The moment that we must feel, I cannot waste this life. It's a very precious opportunity. I must make my life meaningful every day. I cannot waste a word I say, a thought I have, a choice I make. It doesn't matter where I go, with whom I am, I must make it meaningful. I must make it worthy. When we have this intention, not conceptually, but when we feel, okay, I must make my life meaningful, that means we have realized the preciousness of this life. Okay. The next step about impermanence, it is, one then furthermore thinks, while having this rare supporting body, I must meditate right now. Which means, yes, I want to make my life meaningful, but when? I don't know when I will die. Surely it will happen. So I cannot wait tomorrow, the day after. Who knows, one day when I will get the positive conditions to do my meditation, then I will stop to meditate, because at that moment everything will be fine and in a weekend I will reach enlightenment. It will never happen. So the point is, I always remember when I talk about this about a friend of mine who passed away. His name was Geshe Ngawan Tarlam. He was a very good monk in the monastery. And he had the greatest capacity of all the monks that I knew of memorization. So imagine any sadhana, he knew it by heart. All the philosophical books, he knew them by heart. All the pujas, he knew them by heart. And his wish for a long time was to make a long retreat. He wanted to go into retreat. So in his daily life, he used to say, oh, I'm not able to do my daily practices so well concentrated because I'm very busy with many things. But I will go soon to do a retreat. So he was not able to sit down and meditate really concentrated. He was just recite his daily prayers quickly. And he would say, no, because one day I will go into retreat. Then what happened is that before going into retreat, around his 40s, he got a cancer and he died. So, wonderful opportunity, gone. How many people have we known that died well when we would not even expect them to die? It happens, no? Some people die healthy. Some people die young. Some people are sick and they never die. Sure, one day it will happen, but it takes a long time. They always go beyond our expectations. Some people are so old, every year we ask if they're still alive, and there they are. And other people, one day are there, the other day, not there anymore. We never know. The fact that we are young, or the fact that we are healthy, or we are rich, or we are a good person is not an excuse for death. I can say to the Lord of Death, which is just a metaphor. When I go to the Lord of Death, I say, oh, okay, as one day I will come to you, but now, I am young. He would laugh at me. Why? Young people don't die. I say, oh, but I am in a good health. Oh, really? Healthy people don't die. And then I will come and say, no, but really, I am wealthy because rich people don't die. But I am a good person. I have a good heart, I help others, and so on. And once again, he'll say, because why? Good people don't die. We never know. Never, 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 never. So, the fact that I am young, I can be young, I can be in good health, I can make a lifestyle that, I try to avoid every type of dangerous thing in my life. I have the best health as possible and everything. We never know. Death can come to us in the most strange way. We can try to avoid death in all ways possible. Then suddenly, we just eat something wrong and then gone. There's so many stories of these people that have gone through the most dangerous things and finally they die for the most stupid things. I remember now the image. There was this guy, I forgot his name. He was making television programs with in the middle of the most wild animals in the most dangerous situation. And then suddenly he died because a little fish, how to say, spoke at his heart. And it was stung on his heart. So, yeah. So the point was that, death can come at any moment. We never know. The point is that, okay, I have this wonderful opportunity. People that I love, wonderful conditions, a possibility to practice the Dharma. How long will it last? Do we know? And it's not a matter of how old we are. Because nowadays, I think, I don't know if it's only nowadays, but at least from what I can see, people are extremely fixed up with the time in relation of the watch, how much time passes. Who cares? The important thing is the quality, not the quantity of time. It doesn't matter for me personally if I would have a life of 100 years or 50 years. The important thing is how I will fill up the time. Because to have 100 years with an empty life, it's much better to have a 50 years of life full and meaningful. So very often we are much worried about the timing, how much time we have, and we stop and we do not take care of what's the quality of the time, how we fill up that space in our life. Even like I go to meet a person that I love and I don't see very often, and I'm already suffering from the first day because we only have a week together. Let's make that week 10 years, no? Let's enjoy every moment of it. Let's make it meaningful. Otherwise, we can stay for 1 year together instead of a week. And never get in touch with each other, not having the courage to look at one another's eyes. It's better to have a week where we can have true deep exchanges and instead of a year where we cannot not able to look at each other's eyes. So it's a matter of quality of time more than quantity of time. But quantity is also there. One day we will die. So, what can I do? I need to make every day meaningful. I cannot waste my time. Waste my time means to use my space, to use the resources I have in this life just for survival. I need to use the time I have, the space I have, to benefit others and to develop myself. That's what I need to do. If I do that, then it's okay. I can be in one place, I can be in another place. The place where I am, the situation where I am is just the frame. The picture is the important thing, it's not the frame. No, the place where we are, the situations that we are is like a frame. How we are, what we do, what is our intention, what is our attitude is the picture. The important thing is the picture. Sometimes we only care about the beautiful frame. So the most important is how do I act? How do I put myself? What do I do internally? How do I make it meaningful? This is the important thing. Otherwise I can be in a very beautiful frame. But if the picture is meaningless, that's what is going to last, remain. The important is not where we are, it's with whom we are, but most of all is how we are, what we do, what's our attitude as what we do. So, as Panchen Rinpoche says, then furthermore things, while having this rare supporting body, while having this rare precious human life, I must meditate right now. I must make my life meaningful today. I must sit down and meditate. I must study the Dharma. I must observe my attitude. I must change my behavior. I must help others. Today, not tomorrow. But this is something that must come from deep within, not from our head. And this comes in the next questions. The next part of the answer, how to do that. Okay? Okay. Gyula kul chewe tei mikpa nö sho gyalwe song le chungwa jitar yoyang nge so gidunge gompe gomla nyongwa shama shik makena kyamdro yangda yoba misi che mena tenda sibar kele nyuba kele nyugen jitar yoy mita gomso chang mang yang sawa sumdang gyunsen gu takche neljor göneni gomshe niki sungmin nam dida nangne kulchewe gyawe sumba mikpe cho namchi ngeme sembate chiwe tushe chokche sung ngeson sumgi dungala ningne jikpa make na kyamdro yangda misi che dani chenpo sha che pe kale gomba minute kangla dirkyo yo minpa tela shigu kala yo she son lungi tungi trup. Okay. Question 21. How many subjects of visualization are there within the victor's teachings? Which are the sharpest or most effective for one's mind to be exhorted? Also, if it is said that it will be impossible to have a correct refuge without having gained a real experiential realization of the meditation on the suffering of lower realms, how many practitioners are there who are able to accept that it is possible to have a correct refuge without that experimental realization? If it is not possible, what is that reason? So we remain now with the part on impermanence, and the answer goes true. Although there are many ways to meditate on impermanence, you yourself have taught to meditate on the 3 root points and the 9 reasons. Have you not? And among them, the one that is the most effective and the best object of meditation taught by the victor is the unidentified time of death. That he said, for example, that he said that the notion of death is the best to exhort us to practice Dharma. One cannot violate the words of you, the greatest personage, who said, it is not possible to have correct refuge if there is no sense of fear in the heart. Okay, let's just go to the next part regarding refuge. The point here is the following. I wanted to bring another text of Lama where it's putting very clear that the 3 roots and the 9 causes, but I didn't get the opportunity to bring it here. But the main point is that we as human beings, we are very lazy. Most of us. We don't want so much, to go there and take the effort to look at ourselves in our own eyes and to change our behavior and attitude. Wherever we are able just to fit in the situation and be comfortable, there we remain. Like if we have a nice sofa, we sit in a nice coat, and then we sit there and it's comfortable. Okay, we'll do the less as possible. That's why we develop the remote control. And then slowly we have robots that are going to bring the drinks for us. Then we will do everything, so we need to stand up as less as possible. But this is a metaphor, is what we do in our lives, spiritually also. Which means we don't like much to, see our own faults, to put effort to change our habits and behaviors. We are lazy. So what we want is to create a comfort zone where we can feel quite okay and nice. And when we are able to have this comfort zone, okay, then let's just life passes. Time will go by and I am in my nice comfort zone. Everything is fine. Apparently. Within this comfort zone, I am insatisfied, I am fighting with everyone, I'm having my hundreds of problems, and so on. And I continue to repeat the same mistakes again and again. out of jealousy, out of fear, out of envy, and so on. So what we need is to have the courage to say, I must deal with my own bad habits, inner habits I'm talking about. Okay? That's not the way how to behave, and I will change today. I put the effort to change this. Why? Because I'm going to die. And personally, for example, one of my greatest defects, fault, is I am a very lazy person. I don't want to be reborn as lazy as I am now. Want to be reborn as lazy as I am now. So better I do something now. Otherwise, there will be a little baby if I am reborn as a human being. A little lazy baby. And I don't want that. Okay? I don't want to take this to my next life. So better I do something now. Because how much trouble our jealousy, envy, fear, hatred, instability gives to us in this life? A lot, no? So that's better to deal with it now that we have the opportunity. Why to carry it on with us? So, what do we need to do in order to overcome our laziness? We need to develop effort. Effort comes from, in Tibetan we say Dumpa and Tepa. Dumpa means intention, aspiration, and Tepa means faith. So, faith. I will put effort in what I want, in what I aspire for. And I aspire what I believe in. So, for example, if I am very thirsty, I will only put effort to get water if I believe. First of all, I will only put effort to get water if I aspire to get water, if I want to get water. And I would only aspire to get water in the moment that I know and I believe that water is good for me and will take away my thirst. If I do not believe that water can take away my thirst, will I ever aspire to get water? No. And if I don't aspire to get water, will I put effort to get water? So to take away laziness, we need to develop effort. Effort means to put energy in what is positive but is not easy. Effort comes from aspiration. Aspiration comes from faith. Faith means to believe in the existence, in the qualities, and in the functions of something. Okay? So when we don't put enough effort to do something, it's because basically we don't want. Why we have not reached enlightenment yet? Because we don't care about enlightenment. We don't want to reach enlightenment. Most of us don't have an idea what it is. I said, okay, yes, enlightenment, a beautiful word, who knows, that's the image, the Buddha there, but really, really deep inside myself, I want enlightenment. Why? Because I am Buddhist and that's what the Buddhists are supposed to say. Do I really want to reach enlightenment? How many times a day do I think about it? Better change the question. How many times a year? Have you ever thought about it? Well, that's a process to develop anyhow. But that's why we say we need to generate the mind of enlightenment. But anyhow, the point is that if we do not want something, we will never put effort to get it. So, in the moment that we say, okay, I must make my life meaningful because this opportunity is very rare. Together with that, we see that this opportunity will last for a short period of time. We have no idea how long it will last. And it's going to be much shorter than longer. Even though we have a long life. Life goes by quickly. So, I must do something now. This is something like, how to say, it helps us to develop effort. Because by recognizing the preciousness of this life, we develop the intention, the aspiration, the faith, and the wish to do something about it, the effort, but by realizing the certainty of our death and the certainty of the uncertainty of the moment of death, we develop the sense of priority. I must do it now. It's a priority to myself because I don't know of urgency. Because I don't know when, otherwise I will be able to do that. And do I know that in my next life I would have the same opportunities I have in this life to practice the spiritual path? No. So better use it now. It is said that a true Buddhist should think about death at least once a day. Our own death, not other people's death. I do that by asking 4 questions to myself. The questions are, first, am I going to die or not? It's important to make this question. Because very often we think that we are not going to die. Oh yes, conceptually I will die. But truly, am I going to die or not? Do we have any choice? So what is the answer? Yes. Am I sure? Yes, no doubt. So the answer from the head needs to go down to the heart. I will. Okay. Fine. That's fair. Everybody needs to die. Second question. As I will die, when would it happen? Answer, I have no idea whatsoever. Really? But we really need to go to it because I'm quite sure if we ask most people, to each one of us, are you going to die? And what's the answer? Oh, yes, sure. When? I don't know. Can it be tomorrow? No, tomorrow, no. I have so much to do tomorrow. We need to finish the course. No? I believe most of the people that have died up to today, they had something to do the next day. So the fact that I have something to do is not an excuse for that. But if we really think upon ourselves, if we say, am I going to die? Yes. Do you know when? No, I don't know. Very lightly. We just say, okay, so I don't know when I'm going to die. That's fine. Can it be tomorrow? You see, I even ask, can it be tomorrow? I even don't ask, can it be today? We already postponed it somehow. Can it be today? Oh, how possible. Today we have Lama Karen's marriage party. I cannot die today. Tomorrow I need to finish this teaching. And there is this, and there is that, and like this we go. Maybe in a month's time, year and year, some little possibilities there maybe. The truth is that we have no idea. But still, we live our life as if we were immortal within our own mortality. We live our lives as if we were totally immortal. And there is one person in my family that went through a very difficult situation of health. And then in the moment that this person was really, really thinking about that, he was so nice. Gentle to everyone. Everything was nice because he was living life as knowing that he was mortal. Then one day, he got cured from his disease. And then went back to the old style. Just as if he was immortal once again. Okay? So, actually, to know that we are mortal, to say this body will finish, it's like, Rinpoche one time made an example that for me I like very much. He said, what would you say about a person that gets to a hotel and stay cleaning and painting the room of the hotel and buy new furniture for the room of the hotel and is taking so much care of the room of the hotel? What would you say about a person like that? And he doesn't even know how long he's going to stay in that room. Are you crazy? Just stay in the room and do whatever you need to do, but it's useless to stay taking so much care of a room that you are going to leave for sure. Rinpoche says, this body is like a hotel room. Sooner or later, we need to make a checkout. Then we have a period in between, the bardo, and then we do a check-in again. The important is not how beautiful this room is how do we use it as we are in the room. Because the one that is going out from one room is going to another room. This is our mind. So, in the moment that we understand that, yes, I'm going to die and I don't know when, sure, really I don't know. Okay, third question. If I die today, what am I going to take with me and what am I leaving for others? What is the example I leave for other people? What is the memory I leave for others? Materially, what I am leaving? Am I living for the planet? Have I given back as much as I have received from nature? What am I leaving for others? And the fourth question, what am I doing today to cultivate what continues and to cultivate what remains for others? And this becomes priority. Sure, we need to do our job, we need to pay our bills, we need to take care of all the little problems that comes along. That's part of life. But within that, we must be aware that life will end, and I must make every day meaningful. There was one saying that I like also, which is, every day look at the mirror and ask yourself, what would I be doing what I'm doing if today would be my last day? If the answer is no for too many days, it means you need to change something in your life. The point is that by remembering and by being aware of our own mortality, the result is not fear of death. The result is the determination to make one's own life meaningful on every moment, on every day. And then the values change completely. I was talking to two friends this last time in Brazil, people with a lot of money and a lot of power. And both of them had in a near past experiences of near-death situations. One with an accident, another with a sickness. And it changes completely their life. The one that had an accident, he says, that's the best thing that could ever happen to me. Now I see life completely different. I must make a good use of it. The priorities change. So, to reflect upon the certainty of death, the certainty of the uncertainty of the moment of death, and the fact that in the moment of our death, the only thing that can help us is the practice of Dharma. Nothing else. Money, people, power, none of this can really help us. What can help us in the moment of death, the actual process of death, the actual moment where we with ourselves, no one else, is our own inner stability, which is the Dharma. Our own spiritual practice. That's what is going to help me, without any doubt. So, we generate the strong determination. I must make this life meaningful. I must use every day, every moment, in order to help others and in order to develop my own qualities. Because by that, I can make it. And I have no time to waste. Really, to have this determination of having no time to waste is very important. But it doesn't mean that we need to become, nasty to other people and always running around. No. I must use everything in the best possibility. I have no time to waste with anger. I have no time to waste with jealousy. I have no time to waste listening to stupid things and saying stupid things. Really.
Our life is too precious. Our inner space is too precious to fill it up with gossiping. What difference does it make for me what the other person has been doing or not in his private life? I really don't care. And it's not because I don't like you. Is it because it's not going to add anything for my life? It's not going to make me a better person? It's not going to teach me anything? So, when we say, I want to make my life meaningful, I don't want to have time to waste. Time doesn't mean they watch. It means inner space. I don't want to use my life, I don't want to use my inner space with things that are not useful. They're just creating more harm. Okay? So it's wonderful to relax, it's wonderful to enjoy, but with a purpose. Not just with things that actually don't bring us to anywhere. And sometimes it brings us to places where we don't want to go. Okay? So it's like, I'm sorry, I like you, but I have no time to waste my space with this type of things. This is one important thing. Like in the Dhammakaya in Thailand, they choose to make their temples extremely simple. Like they say they need to be practical. So easy to clean, easy to take care. Why? Because we cannot waste our time taking care of the temple. We need to use our time to meditate on the temple. That's their philosophy. Sure, it's possible to do a practice as we clean also. It's also part of the practice. But the point is that use our resources in the best way that can be of benefit for us, that they can come in our own, direction, in our own favor. Okay, I think it's quite clear, no? So the point is, this is here we are, we all know, sooner or later need to check out, and then we'll check in again, so we need to take care of who continues. And finally, the real important thing of life is not what we do in life. One day when we'll make the final balance, the important thing is not what we have done. The important thing is what we have become. If we think about a life of success, there are many examples of people that we all know. That normally you would ask, is that a life of success? And everybody would say, oh yes. Material success, professional success. But then you see the person dying in a state of sadness, depression, hatred. Is that a successful life? Okay. Sure, we cannot judge other people because we really don't know what is going inside other people's lives. But from the information we receive, let's take, for instance, someone like that many of us admire, like Michael Jackson. Okay. The common way of asking, would you say, was that a life of success? Oh, yes. Then if you ask, was he spiritual, emotionally, was it a life of success? He died because he was not able to sleep at all. Past years of his life, he was taking very strong medicine against depression and anxiety for him to sleep. He had no real friends so much, always alone. Alone means lonely, not physical alone. Is that a successful life, internally speaking? Oh. We can have many examples of people that have a lot of success according to what we normally call success, but are very unsuccessful internally. So finally, what does it matter in life? What we become. It doesn't matter really if I have a good job or a good pension. I need to have, sure, the money to eat, a good place where to be. I want to travel, go to a holy place, whatever. I have my possibilities, wonderful. But the important thing is that I have my own balance, stability, joy, satisfaction, wisdom, compassion, love, clarity. That's what I want. That's a life of success. So, in the moment we understand that what really matters is not what we do, but what we become, then we need to put effort daily in order to become what we want to become. And we have no time to waste, because we have the best opportunity ever to do that. Okay? But all of this, as Lama Tsongkhapa says, is not enough just to talk about it. No? As it says here. How would you meditate on one's own mind so that it does not become merely a subject to explain to others? Oh yes, the certainty of death, the uncertainty of the moment of death, blah, 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 blah. We can stay hours talking to people, but we must feel it. When we think about our own death, we must feel the adrenaline. I will die. I must do something about life. And really it means to realize the certainty of death. It means to have the determination to make every moment and every day of our life meaningful. Not to waste our life just on useless, stupid thoughts. Okay? So, basically we need to develop this strong determination, not conceptual thought, but within our own selves, to realize the certainty of our death and the uncertainty of the moment of death. In the fact that we see, but this is only meaningful in the moment that it comes together with the determination to make our own life meaningful. In the moment that we have the determination, I must make my life meaningful, I must help others and develop my own qualities, then reflecting upon death makes the urgency to make our life meaningful. If we simply think about death without thinking about the preciousness of this life, we will end up just having fear of death. And that's not the point. The point is not to fear death. But there is nothing to fear about death. We have already died infinite numbers of times in our lives. Don't need to worry that we are not going to be able to die well. Even though we don't remember how to do it, it will come. The important thing is not to waste this precious opportunity we have right now, which is very good. It's very joyful, this opportunity we have. So let's use our time, our space in the best ability that we can. Okay? With joy. That's important. So we'll conclude here today. As Rinpoche requested to end a little bit earlier, as we'll have the initiation now in the terrace there. And tomorrow we'll come back for the teachings at 11 o'clock. Okay? We'll do first the Guru Puja self-healing, then we'll do the teachings tomorrow morning. Just remember, all this knowledge about death and so on is something that we need, a preciousness of this life and the certainty of death, something that we need to apply at our own life. And not just to have the concept and the idea. That's the important thing. Okay?
Jetsun lame kutse rabdenchi namkar chile chochur gepadang Losang tempe dreme sasum drove muse taktu negyurchi Nimo dele tsendele nime kuyan delekshin Nintsen taktu delekpe Koncho sumge jingi lop Koncho sumge ngodrup sol Koncho sumge trashishto. At dawn or dusk, at night or midday, may the three jewels grant us their blessings. May they help us to achieve all realizations and sprinkle the path of our lives with various signs of auspiciousness.